Hello and welcome to Mad About Superheroes Comic Book Spotlight. Today we shine a light on Transformers the movie.
Transformers!
The Transformers was originally two Japanese toy lines bought by Hasbro, who enlisted Marvel Comics to create a mythology for the various characters. Along with Sunbow, Marvel co-produced the Transformers cartoon series. Marvel also put out a comic book series, initially intended to only be 4 issues, but the Transformers comic book was popular enough to become an ongoing monthly series. The Transformers toys, cartoon, and comic series would all cross-promote each other, but the express intent was to promote and sell the Hasbro toy line. The Transformers multimedia bonanza was a smash hit, and 2 seasons into the cartoon series, a feature-length film, Transformers the movie, hit theater screens in 1986. To coincide with the release of the film and the new toy line, Marvel Comics put out an official comic book adaptation of Transformers the movie. The Transformers Marvel Comics series had a separate continuity from the cartoon series, so the 3-issue limited series based on the movie, which was a continuation of the cartoon series, was also separate from the Transformers ongoing monthly comic book series. Just moments ago, this planet and its robotic inhabitants were enjoying a normal, peaceful day, and in an instant, that peace was disrupted to devastating effect. The entire planet is being devoured by a powerful force of nature, the entity known as Unicron. Only a single starship is able to escape Unicron's ultimate path of destruction. It is the year 2005. On the planet Cybertron, the treacherous Decepticons have conquered the malevolent Autobots. But from secret staging grounds on Cybertron's 2 moons, the Autobots remain vigilant and prepare to revolt and retake their homeworld. The Autobots Optimus Prime and Ironhide monitor the Decepticons from one moon, while Bumblebee and Earthling ally Spike monitor from the other moon. Optimus, the Autobots' leader, orders Ironhide to make a special run to Autobot City on Earth to replenish their depleting supply of Energon. Without their energy source, they won't be able to make a full-scale assault against the Decepticons. Ironhide and a small crew of fellow Autobots blast off, on course for Earth. Unbeknownst to them, they are under Decepticon surveillance, under the watchful eye of Laserbeak, who with the aid of Soundwave reports back to the Decepticon commander, the evil Megatron. Meanwhile, the Autobot shuttle hurtles towards Earth and passes through an asteroid field. As Ironhide maneuvers through the field, the Autobots are suddenly under attack. A hole is blown through the side of their shuttle, through which an armada of Decepticons emerge. Die, Autobots! Megatron transforms from robot to gun form, and Starscream opens fire on the Autobots, utterly destroying Brawn, Prowl, Ratchet, and Ironhide. The Decepticons take control of the Autobot shuttle and plan to use it to slip inside Autobot City and destroy it from the inside out. On Earth, just outside Autobot City, Spike's son Daniel detects the Autobot shuttle is about to land. Even though his Autobot companion Hot Ride would rather fish than watch the shuttle landing, he transports his young friend to the observation tower, where he can safely watch the landing. They arrive at the observation tower just in time to observe something most disturbing. They witness the Decepticons deploying from the shuttle. Megatron opens fire on the observation tower. Hot Rod and Daniel race towards Autobot City to warn their friends of the danger. But the Autobot Preceptor remains true to his name and perceives the impending danger and brings it to the attention of Autobot City Commander Ultra Magnus. He orders Springer and RC to transform Autobot City and tells Preceptor to get Blaster to radio Optimus Prime for reinforcements. RC worries about Hot Rod and Daniel still outside the city, but they have a job to do, and with some maneuvering through some narrow corridors and with the pull of a few levers, they successfully transform Autobot City. Though the Autobots launch a counterattack on the Decepticons, Megatron ups the ante by ordering his Constructicons to merge and form Devastator. Luckily, just in the nick of time, an Autobot shuttle arrives. It's Optimus Prime and the ferocious Dinobots. Dinobots, destroy Devastator! Led by Grimlock, the Dinobots leap into action. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime prepares to face his arch-nemesis.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
The The virtuous Optimus Prime plows through the Decepticons that are in his path towards Megatron. Your reign of terror has gone on too long, Megatron. I'm here to end it. The two lifelong enemies become locked in battle. Defeated, Megatron begs Optimus for mercy as a stalling tactic as he sneaks to reach for a gun on the ground. You who are without mercy now plead for it? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. Megatron seizes the opportunity to grab the gun and fires several rounds at Optimus Prime point blank. I've waited millions of years for this moment. It's over, Prime. However, Optimus Prime digs deep into his reserve strength to deliver one last powerfully awesome blow. The two combatants are down for the count, but Prime and the Dinobots effectively turn the tide, and the Decepticons and their defeated leader board Astro Train and retreat. Unfortunately, at a terrible cost. Later, back at Autobot City, frantic efforts are being made to save the Autobots' beloved leader. Most unfortunately, the wounds are fatal. Young Daniel pleads, "Prime, you can't die." Prime reassures Daniel, "Do not grieve. Soon I shall be one with the Matrix." Prime passes the Matrix of leadership to his second-in-command, Ultra Magnus. Magnus thinks he's just a soldier and unworthy, but Prime insists, and Magnus accepts his dying mentor's last request. The final words of wisdom spoken by Optimus Prime are, "One day an Autobot shall rise from our ranks and use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour. Until that day, until all are one." Meanwhile, within the core of Unicron, he observes and is most displeased. Nearby, Astro Train makes a plea to his fellow Decepticons to jettison some weight, or they'll never make it back to Cybertron. The decision is harsh, but quickly made to jettison the damaged and dying Decepticons. Starscream, who has always wanted to usurp Megatron as Decepticon leader, is more than eager to toss his frail wounded master out into the cold vacuum of space. "Oh, how it pains me to do this!" Megatron pleads with Starscream to no avail. Soon, the damaged and discarded Decepticons find themselves in the path of the monstrous Unicron, who fears the Matrix is the only power in the galaxy that can challenge him. In exchange for aiding him to destroy the Matrix, Unicron offers to furnish Megatron and his fallen cohorts with new bodies. Though reluctant and initially unwilling to be subservient to Unicron, Megatron realizes he has no other chance of survival otherwise and agrees to Unicron's terms. A band of new warriors stand ready to aid Megatron in his coming conquests. Scourge, the Tracker, and his henchmen, the Sweeps. Cyclonus, the warrior, who will become Megatron's ship. And last but not least, Megatron is transformed into the mighty Galvatron. "I will destroy all in my path. I will crush Ultra Magnus and rip the Matrix from his chest and shatter it. A new day is dawning. A day when every Autobot will be hunted and slain. A day when all on Earth will fall into the hands of Galvatron and the Decepticons." However, before Galvatron claims the Matrix, there's a matter that demands his attention. He must put Starscream back in his place. On Cybertron, a coordination is about to commence, in honor of Starscream as newly appointed Decepticon leader. The ceremony is rudely interrupted by Galvatron. Moments before he's blasted into oblivion by Galvatron's massive cannon, Starscream realizes that he's met his demise at the hands of his former master Megatron. Unwilling to challenge the awesome display of Galvatron's power, the Decepticons pledge allegiance to Galvatron. Meanwhile, the planet-destroying Unicron approaches the first moon of Cybertron. Awestruck by the sight of the massive Unicron, Cliffjumper and Jazz report the incoming attack on the moon base to Ultra Magnus on Autobot City. Jazz and Cliffjumper make it to a shuttlecraft and narrowly escape the devouring path of Unicron. Cybertron's moon is entirely consumed by the Planet Eater, a feat which greatly angers Galvatron. "How dare Unicron! Cybertron and all its moons are mine!" His objection does not go unheard. Galvatron screams in agony as Unicron forcibly establishes his control over the Decepticon leader. Reporting from Cybertron's moon, Bumblebee and Spike reaffirm the threat of Unicron, but as the Autobots prepare to launch an assault on Unicron, they spot an incoming Decepticon attack fleet. Ultra Magnus rallies his fellow Autobots. The Autobots are soon in their respective shuttles and airborne. Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots aboard one craft, and Ultra Magnus, Perceptor, Springer, RC, and Daniel in another craft. They initiate evasive maneuvers. The two Autobot teams split up, and Galvatron pursues Ultra Magnus and the Matrix. Ultra Magnus strategically uses an asteroid field to jam the Decepticon centers, so they lose track of Ultra Magnus' shuttle. A short time later, Galvatron intercepts Hot Rod and Company's shuttle. Galvatron launches Moleculon missiles at them. Cup, the grizzled warrior who's seen it all, comes up with a dicey plan to invert polarity, which could tear the ship apart. Cup puts his plan into action. Instantly, the shuttle comes to a dead stop. The plan worked, but out of the frying pan and into the fire. They are attacked by a nearby planet, which destroys their shuttle, and Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots fall to the planet's surface. Springer informs Ultra Magnus of Hot Rod and Cup's seemingly demise, but they've got their own impending doom to deal with first and foremost, as Galvatron is back and hellbent on their destruction. If that's what Galvatron wants, that's exactly what Ultra Magnus is going to give him. Galvatron has the Autobot shuttle deadlocked on target. He takes his shot, and it's a fatal one.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Partly metal, partly real.
The Limbo Galaxy, 0400 hours. What appears to be the Silverhawks leader, Quicksilver, speeds towards Bankworld. Lord Cash initiates a distress call to Earth. They inform Cash that they will contact the Silverhawks, to which Cash replies, "Earth, you don't understand. It's Quicksilver of the Silverhawks who's attacking us. The Silverhawks have turned bad. What do you want?" "I want all the money in Dolar. All the money in the galaxy. That's what I want." It's revealed that Monstar and his minion Hardware have created an evil doppelganger of Quicksilver called Darkbird. "I don't believe it. He's my identical twin." An evil twin under the complete control of the Silverhawks' deadliest enemy. As the Silverhawks approach Dolar, they are confronted by Darkbird, who's hell-bent on tearing the Silverhawks apart. "Ha ha 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 ha! I was made to trash Silverhawks, and I won't quit until the job is done."
We now return to the Transformers.
Galvatron gloats over his triumph, but is painfully summoned by his master, Unicron. Cyclonus changes course and heads to the Planet Killer. Emerging from a cloud of smoke is a small Autobot shuttlecraft. Ultra Magnus tricked Galvatron into believing he destroyed the entire shuttle, when in fact he only destroyed a fraction of the ship. Perceptor locates a nearby planet for them to land on and make the necessary repairs to the shuttle. Elsewhere, Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots are falling under gravity's pull to the planet Quintesson. Grimlock, Hot Rod, and Cup luckily land in a pool of water, breaking their fall. However, the other Dinobots land elsewhere. When the trio of Autobots wash ashore, they are met by some of Quintesson's natives. The strange creatures hustle the Autobots away. Attempting to conserve strength, their captives offer no resistance. Sometime later, the captors and their captives reach a strange city. Their arrival is watched by many eyes, none of which are friendly. "Reminds me of the nether slave mines on Galgathon 7. "Every place reminds you of someplace else." "Experience, lad. You should learn to appreciate it." The Autobots are escorted to a cell where they meet Kranix, the single surviving robot to escape Unicron's destruction of his homeworld. Kranix informs them that their captors are the Sharkticons, and their cruel masters are the Quintessons. They hunt down those who try to escape Unicron. Guilty or innocent, the sentence is always the same: death. Hot Rod and Cup contemplate if Galvatron has any connection to Unicron. Suddenly, two Sharkticons barge in and haul poor Kranix away. The Autobots try to intervene, but are warned to wait to receive their own sentence. Kranix is taken before a kangaroo court, where he's quickly railroaded and sentenced to death. He meets his end at the bottom of a pit, filled with Sharkticons. The Autobots watch in horror. "Not the end I'd wish for, lad." It's not too long before they're hauled off and it's their turn to be judged. They're put in restraints that prevent them from transforming. Hot Rod expresses contempt for the court, and the Quintesson's response is a sentence of death. Cub's survival instincts kick in, and he manages to slip out of his restraints and free the others. If this is the end, the Autobots are going down fighting. Cup and Hot Rod transform and burn rubber, ramming into the deadly Sharkticons, as more Sharkticon reinforcements pour in. Luckily, the Autobots get some reinforcements of their own, as the other Dinobots arrive. "Me Grimlock want to munch metal." The Sharkticons are no match for the combined might of the Dinobots. Grimlock establishes his superiority through brute force, and convinces the Sharkticons to turn against their own masters, the Quintessons. They then meet an Autobot stranger named Wheelie, who knows the whereabouts of a spaceship they can use to depart Quintesson. His only condition for leading them to the ship is that they take him with them. They agree and the Autobots are on their way. Meanwhile, Unicron approaches Cybertron's second moon, ready to devour it. But Bumblebee and Spike set a stockpile of explosions to detonate right in Unicron's ugly face. With only seconds to spare, Bumblebee and Spike reach a small shuttlecraft, and they flee Cybertron's moon. And then, as Unicron begins to consume the moon, Bumblebee and Spike rejoice, but their joy is premature. Much to their shock, Unicron is unfazed by the massive explosion. Cybertron's moon is destroyed, and Bumblebee and Spike are sucked into Unicron's vacuum. The still ravenous monster turns its attention to Cybertron itself. Ultra Magnus and crew speed towards the planet of junk, Junkion. Low on power, the Autobots brace for impact. The landing is anything but smooth, but our heroes are unscathed. The Autobots prepare to explore their strange new surroundings. RC pulls out one of Spike's extra exosuits for Daniel to use. He's a bit off balance at first, but he soon finds his footing. As the Autobots exit the shuttle and begin to search for repair parts, not too far away, a group of Junkion inhabitants observe not only the Autobots but the Decepticons' arrival and surprise attack. Scavenger and Shrapnel go after Daniel, and he quickly transforms his exosuit into auto mode and races away. Galvatron, Cyclonus, and the Sweeps outnumber Ultra Magnus, and though he pleads with the Matrix to light their darkest hour, it does not respond, and he's torn apart by his enemies. And the Matrix falls into the hands of Galvatron. "Unicron, my master, with this I shall make you my slave." The Autobots gather around their fallen comrade. Without Ultra Magnus, without the Matrix, all hope is lost. Suddenly, a strange spacecraft approaches. It's Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots, and their new ally, Wheelie. When they land, they're greeted by the Junkions. The initial mood is hostile, until Hot Rod smooths things over by offering some Energon goodies and a friendly universal greeting.
Ba weep grana, weep nitty bong.
Oh, weep, grana, weep, ninny bong.
Ba weep grana, weep nitty bong.
Which seems to do the trick, and the Autobots and the Junkions are fast friends. The Junkions, led by Wreck-Gar, speak in a language comprised of phrases from old Earth television shows and commercials. The Autobots catch on and successfully communicate with the Junkions. They assist the Autobots by repairing the dismembered Ultra Magnus. With their leader resurrected, the Autobots team up with the Junkions to settle the score with Galvatron, reclaim the Matrix, and destroy Unicron before he destroys Cybertron. At that moment, Galvatron confronts his master, Unicron. "See this? The Matrix. I now possess that which you most fear. You will do my bidding." But before Galvatron can finish his threat, Unicron laughs in the face of the Decepticon leader. Galvatron can't get the Matrix to obey his commands, and the surface of Unicron opens. The most hideous transformation begins. Robot Mode Unicron, the single most destructive entity in all the universe, now heads towards the planet Cybertron, home planet of both the Autobots and Decepticons. "For a time, I considered sparing your measly little planet, but now you shall witness its dismemberment." Galvatron transforms into cannon form and opens fire full blast on Unicron, but he's no match for the giant planet killer. First, Unicron swallows a mere morsel, and then it's on to the main course, Cybertron. On the planet's surface, Shockwave orders a counterattack on Unicron. Unfortunately, against the monstrous Unicron, resistance is futile. Against all odds, the valiant Autobots have arrived. Hot Rod asks Cup, "Doesn't this remind you of anything, Cup?" "Nope. Never seen anything like this before." Despite the much smaller sizes of the Quintesson and Junkion ships, they put up one heck of a fight. Until, without warning, a ray from Unicron's eye strikes the Quintesson ship, cutting it in two. The ship crashes into Unicron's eye. Among the ship's debris, the Autobots fall inside of Unicron, and Hot Rod is separated from the others. Hot Rod spots something glowing in the darkness. Galvatron now wears the Matrix hanging from his neck, as if it were a medal or a trophy. Galvatron lunges at Hot Rod. During their struggle, Galvatron puts Hot Rod in a stranglehold. Hot Rod seems to be no match for Galvatron. "First Prime, then Ultra Magnus, now you. It's a pity Autobots die so easily, or I might have a sense of satisfaction." Almost instinctively, and barely conscious, Hot Rod reaches for the glowing Matrix. As if he were meant to seize the powerful object, as if destiny found him worthy. Hot Rod is the chosen one, the one Autobot to rise from their ranks and light their darkest hour.
You got the touch. You got the
Arise, Rodimus Prime.
Optimus. Yeah!
Hot Rod transforms into a bigger, stronger body, with all the wisdom and power of Optimus Prime and more. Hot Rod, now Rodimus Prime, makes short work of Galvatron and uses the power of the Matrix to put an end to Unicron's reign of terror, once and for all. Rodimus tracks down his fellow Autobots, and just as they arrived inside Unicron, they also depart, in one eye and out the other.
You cannot destroy my destiny.
All that is left of Unicron is his disembodied head floating through the depths of space. The victorious Autobots reclaim their homeworld of Cybertron and rejoice in a new era of peace. The Transformers the Movie 3-issue limited series was adapted by Ralph Macchio from a screenplay by Ron Friedman. Macchio also co-wrote the premiere issue of Transformers and had a long career with Marvel Comics, also providing his talents as an editor. Transformers the Movie was penciled by Don Perlin. Perlin also had a long tenure with Marvel. He continued as penciler on the Transformers monthly comic series and also provided his artistic talent to personal favorite, The Defenders. The Transformers the Movie comic book adaptation is a very condensed version of the film. Though the essential plot points are retained, some action sequences are completely cut, while others are cut short or just less epic. The ramp-up to the fight between Optimus Prime and Megatron, when a dozen Decepticons prove to be no match for the Autobot leader Optimus Prime, is severely reduced to one single very small panel in the comic. The Autobot Blur is reduced to a mere background character in the comic adaptation, although in the movie he's a bit more prominent. Frankly, the 3 issues seem really dashed out. Whether it's the Hasbro toys, Marvel comic books, or G1 cartoon series, it's always a pleasure whenever I revisit 80s Transformers. I hope you've enjoyed this comic book spotlight on the Transformers the Movie 3-issue limited series. Thanks for letting your geek flag fly with Mad About Superheroes.